All right, that looks like that's all working. Welcome, guys, to In Art Business Workshop. My name is Patrick. I run the marketing department here at Art Storefronts. Been doing that going on 6, 7 years now. And what's the agenda for today? What we normally do is we play a video that like explains at a high level sort of who we are, what we do. But we just totally updated our homepage, so probably need to update the video. So I will go through the who we are, what we do at a high level. We can sort of talk about some of the trends that underpin 2020 and that I think that will be particularly important for artists and photographers to understand in 2021. And then I would love to get into your questions. I've done, I don't even know how many of these things this year, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100. So I've talked to hundreds of artists and photographers in every stripe, niche, medium, part of the country, other countries. And I'd love to hear where you are in your business. Are you just getting started? Have you not sold anything at all? So you need to validate your art. Is your business picking up steam? Were you doing well offline, and then the pandemic hit, and now you're searching for ways to diversify your revenue sources? Heard it all. Been through a bunch this year, and would love to be able to give you guys some insights on how I think you can take your business to the next level in 2021. Grow it. Take advantage of what's going on, the facts on the ground. But let me start kind of at a high level on the who we are, what we do. And I'll say April's going to put this link in the chat for you. And to the extent that some people pop on, pop off, have to leave, all of that, get disconnected, whatever. Anything that we mention throughout this whole thing, whether it's links or links to a person's site or whatever it is, we stitch all that together in an email and it'll go to you after the fact. So don't feel like you have to take notes. Not that you would. Not presuming that, but don't feel like you have to. We'll send all the links after the fact, and they'll also go in the chat. So in the video will be available after the fact too, so you can watch that. So, okay, on that note, I got to dial in one more thing here. Just bear with me for a second. Most everybody thinks that doesn't know us or comes to the website for the first time that at the end of the day we're just a website company, right? Like you come to Art Storefronts and you get a website, and with that website, you're able to start selling art. But we are a significantly more than just a website. And I'm going to show you just briefly. I got to fix one more thing on my screen here. This is the new homepage that we just sort of created just recently. And it does a really good job, probably for the first time in forever, articulating what all we do. And, as you scroll down the page, we'll cover it in a second. There's a bunch of videos of me talking about this, that, and the other, how it works, everything that we do. So good thing to go through just sort of on your own time to get a better understanding, notwithstanding what I give you here on the webinar. But everything you need to start, run, and grow a successful art business. Pretty good tagline, we think, that sort of encompasses what all we do. Ultimately, we are a business that only survives, thrives if we have successful customers. So that's really the problem that we're solving for. How do you take artists and photographers and make them successful? And there's a bunch of different components. That's the problem that we're solving for. That's why it's quite a bit more than a website. And we have, the first section is it all starts with a website, and I'll go to one here. We have a suite of features. We don't really feel like we have a competitor in terms of a website. There's not anyone out there in the art market that has all the features that we do. There's just a tremendous amount, and there's just a tremendous amount of nuance and what we like to call friction in attempting to sell art and photography online. It's not like selling swim fins or ladies' handbags or golf clubs or anything else. It's an extremely friction-filled process, and I'll get into that in a second. And then it's also really, really visual. And so everything that we have on our website attempts to solve and fix the friction issue. And friction, in a word, can be thought of: they came to your site, they were interested, something they got hung up on, and they left without buying, right? That's the friction. And so that's what we attempt to solve. And we just have an entire suite of features. We have hundreds of them, actually. And it's why we do the demo process, because it's entirely too much to go through on one call. But little things. You click on canvas, it immediately shows you a visualization of a canvas, right? That's a friction point, trying to understand what the various different media types are. No one really understands the media types, not most customers anyway. So we have built-in merchandising videos that we shot that actually show what a canvas gallery wrap looks like, show what it looks like in the front, on the back, the fact that it could hang without a frame. And, we do that for all the various different media types, right? So your buyer can instantaneously understand what it is they're buying, what it looks like, what the differentiating features are. Um, Buying art is an extremely visual process, right? And this is one of the big ones where people get hung up. They can't visualize the final product on their wall, and without being able to do that, they might not buy. So we have what's called the wall preview tool, and you can cycle through a bunch of images on this. Yes, you can even upload your own images. We kind of just keep it simple for various different reasons. But what this allows you to do is step the piece up, step the piece down. It will go in all the sizes that you offer. It gives your customers the ability to even change the wall color. The wall colors are the best-selling paint colors from Sherwin-Williams, Benjamin Moore, so they're going to find their color. And it gives them the opportunity to be able to visualize your piece on their wall, get closer to a buying decision. One of the other features that everyone likes talking about is pretty cool. Is called live preview with AR. I'm gonna have to mute myself. So what this allows people to do is they can take their cell phone, iPhone or Android, come to your website. They don't have to download any app or any special software. All they have to do is open the web browser, go to the piece in your store, and they come down and they press this little button called live preview. You'll see it in real time on this phone on the right-hand side. Live preview with AR. And what it does is it uses the camera on the phone, okay? And then it takes your piece and it inserts it into the camera view in what's called augmented reality. And so we'll see it here in a second. This is a real room and someone's real cell phone, and they're looking at this piece now and they're sizing it up, sizing it down, moving it around in the room, and they can do this anywhere. You can just do it any room. You can cycle through pieces, and you're looking at the real room in your house with the piece that you're potentially going to buy, i.e., it gives you the ability to visualize it and make a buying decision, take a screenshot, on your cell phone. So we have quite literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of art selling features. Again, it's why we do the demo process. But the cautionary tale I always say here is that everyone tends to think that they have a website problem. You don't have a website problem. Very, very few. If 100 people come on these calls, one or two have a website problem. Meaning, if you took your business where it is and you moved it right from where it is into our platform or even into Shopify or Squarespace, that's not going to fundamentally overnight significantly change your business, because 99 out of 100 artists and photographers, they don't do marketing, they don't have any traffic. So even if we give you a better restaurant, if no one's coming into the restaurant, you're not going to be doing anything. That's number one. Number two, everyone tends to focus on this individual feature or that, like, usually the sexy ones. Oh, the wall preview or the live preview with AR. But, I've been doing marketing my whole life, digital marketing my whole life, e-commerce my whole life, and you never know which feature actually gets the sale over the line. It's sort of like a sports team, right? Every feature is another player that you're able to put on the court, and you never know who's going to score the winning points for you or goal, however you want to say it. It's all of them working in conjunction that collectively increase your conversion rate and turn more of your potential visitors into buyers. And so, that's sort of the website at a high level. And I'll go back to the screen share and just kind of go down the bullet points. In addition to that, doesn't get talked about that much, but we have a bunch of back-end tools, things like being able to upload one image and instantaneously having all the sizes that are available from that image available in your store, ready to go without having to upload anything else, or, global markup settings. You can set the markup 250% across the board for everything and you're done, or you can set it up individually. There's a number of sort of interesting little nuance and tradecraft that's unique to the art and photo businesses, right? And so our software's got a bunch of stuff, again, not sexy to talk about it, but on the back end that gives you time back, that make things a little bit easier. We have what's called automated print and merchandise fulfillment, and I'll probably pop back over to Bill's side here. Now, you have every option available to you. We don't mandate or legislate what you can or can't do. Like, if you're an artist that's just doing originals and that's it, that's all you're doing, well, of course you're going to print and ship those because you have the originals at your house, or not print, but you're going to fulfill them and ship them. If you have a local printer that you like, that you've been using for years, whatever the circumstances may be, you can do that. We call it self-fulfillment. An order will come in on your site, you will send it to your printer will ship it and fulfill it, and you can work that way. Or we have what's called automated fulfillment, and I think I've got the logos down here. Yeah. We are integrated with Graphic Dimensions, which is on the East Coast, huge company, Dave Photo, which is on the West Coast, Print Partner, which is in Canada, and then Guten for the merchandise, and I'll get into the merchandise in a second. So you sign up, You press one button in your back end, you're instantaneously integrated with this print partner. If an order comes in, you get paid, the printer gets paid, the printer prints it, puts it in a box, slaps your logo on the side of it, and ships it. You don't have to touch anything, not a thing, which is what we advocate the majority of our customers do, because spending your time on admin or driving to the print shop or fulfilling and shipping, if you can outsource that, highly beneficial, because that's all time that you can put back into your marketing. And both of the printers have every media type imaginable. They all use the same printers, all the same inks, all the same media types. So, printing has become more of a commodity in today's day and age, sort of sadly, because they all have the same technology across the board. And so these guys are great. They take care of everything. You're one-click integrated. Recently, we also added merchandise. And some people like merchandise, some people hate merchandise. I'm sort of, ambivalent towards it personally. But you guys are creators, you're inventors. And you know what? If you're making images and we give you the opportunity to sell those images on more and varied substrates, we think it's a good idea. And so we just integrated with this company called Guten, which you can see allows hoodies, phone cases, tank tops, throw pillows, tote bags, t-shirt, mugs. We're adding puzzles, calendars, photo books, greeting cards. It gives your customers the ability to pick one of your images, figure out how they want to rotate it, size it, move it. So it's really got some cool features, and you have every option available to you imaginable. Use the merch, don't use the merch. Include it all in one big product page, like Bill's doing here with his Bono image, or just put a phone case in your store, right? Or just a tote bag, or just a throw pillow in your store. You can do whatever you want. The sky is literally the limit. Or you can do none of it, but you have the ability to at least order your images on this stuff if you want to do a giveaway, or if you want to include one in a sale. Buy a 24 by 36 stretch canvas and I'll throw in a free tote pillow. So you have all of these various different abilities to do this. And Guten, somebody's asking me on the live stream, Guten is spelled, I can't even spell it, to be honest with you. It's such a weird name. That's Gooten, is Guten. So that's on the fulfillment. We can certainly get into that more in a bit. Sounds cliche to say best in class support, but we really mean that. If you look at our reviews, like, we have more glaring reviews on our support than probably just about anything else. It's available every which way you can imagine. Yes, of course, by email, phone, and chat support, the traditional ways, but also live. And this has been sort of one of our biggest discoveries of 2020, and call it as a result of the pandemic. But 6 days a week, you can pop into a Zoom session like this, literally Monday through Friday and on Saturday, and we have tech support staffing them. And you're like, hey, I've got this issue. Okay, let's do a screen share. Let's get it fixed right now. And you come in, you raise your hand, everyone goes into a queue, and you get support that way. And so, the quicker I get you unstuck with technical related issues, and let's be honest, artists and photographers, add a macro blanket statement. Yes, not the most tech savvy usually. You need help. You're going to get hung up on things. Okay, we get it. We get it. Our job is to get you unstuck as judiciously and quickly as possible. Not only do we support our application, and again, go back to the top of what I said, we win if we have successful customers. Turns out our customers have problems with Facebook. They had problems with Instagram. They had problems with MailChimp. They had problems with their various other different marketing services that they're using. We support those now too. You can have an Instagram problem, a Facebook ads problem, an Instagram ads problem, a MailChimp problem, an email marketing problem, and you can come on and get support from members of my marketing team that will jump on, do a screen share, look at it, figure out where you're stuck, and keep rolling. So pretty cool new addition that we're pretty pleased with. So our support's next level. No one usually likes talking about support, but there it is. All of those things exist: the website, the backend features, the support, literally to just give you time back, because all artists and photographers have a marketing problem. Okay. It does not matter if you have sold 0. It doesn't matter if you sold 50,000 last year, if you sold 500,000 last year, if you sold 5 million last year. Every single solitary one of them has a marketing problem, or they can get better at their marketing, or the highest leverage area of their business to be working is on marketing. So if we have a secret sauce, this is it. This is it. And it's essentially, we have a full-blown art business university. That's what we've created. And it comes in a couple of different pieces. It comes, excuse me. Yes, we call it playbooks, calendar, workshops, and community. And I'll just go over it quickly at a high level, which is phenomenal. But more importantly than telling you what to do, tells you what not to do. Tells you what not to do, what shiny objects not to go and chase. Number one, we're really good at marketing. We've been doing this a long time. Number two, I've got the data on 4,800 customers. I know what works. I can tell you conclusively, I have not seen a single artist or photographer monetize Pinterest. Haven't seen it. Don't waste time on Pinterest. Don't do it. So too for SEO. I don't think we have a single solitary artist that is making any significant, uh, 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 huge gains, huge sales just based on SEOing their site and doing that work. So, what not to do is as important as what to do. I need to get you guys focused on the highest ROI activities, ROI is return on investment, that I can, and then get you doing them consistently. That's what the calendar's for. Um, Biggest change in 2020, forever changed our business, are what these sessions are right now. So we take the entire customer base and we split them into revenue tranches. $2,000 and below, sold online, you're in the beginner group. Above 2,000, you're in the intermediate group. Above a much, much higher revenue threshold that we do not publish, you're in the advanced group. And once a week, we have Zoom sessions just like these. We go over the playbooks. We talk about the calendar. We open it up to Q&A. You get to hear from your peers what's working. What are they struggling with? It's Q&A about just about anything. Yes, it's about marketing and what we want you to do. But if you need help negotiating something and you're wondering what to do about a contract, or we're hearing from somebody that had a live art show and sold 55 pieces, how did they do it? Then you can not only say, how did you do it? You can ask them questions. And then you can say, by the way, here was the show. Here's how I promoted it on my Facebook page and Instagram. Here's the email text. And then you can go look at all of that. And we started those like a week before the pandemic started, and it's completely forever changed our business. Nobody wants to learn in a vacuum. Nobody wants to just say, hey, here's your online education. Go read and do it, right? We tried that for a number of years and we thought we were pretty sweet. And then we switched to the video teaching model. And if before the pandemic, if I published, here is the buttoned up playbook on how to run your Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. Out of 100 customers, I would have got 35 to take action. After the video teaching, so here's the email, how to run your Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. By the way, Tuesday is the session where we're going to talk about it. Come on. I went from getting 35 people to taking action to getting 70 people taking action just by the video teaching. It is so impactful. It is so compelling to be able to come and learn from your peers and ask questions, get unstuck, and get motivated too, because you hear about the highs and the lows of other people. And let me tell you, I've been an entrepreneur my entire life. That's what you guys are. You're solopreneurs. Everybody gets that there's a lot of up and down in there, right? There's a lot of up and down. And like those moments when you're getting discouraged and you need a little bucking up, you need a little kick in the pants, like you hear other people that are struggling and then how they got out of it. And then you're hearing wins, and it's very encouraging and it's very powerful, and it never stops for the life of the time you're going to be a customer. If you do become a customer, you have access to these shows and they happen weekly. What happens if you miss? I've got a secretary in every single solitary one. They take notes, and then they take the notes, turn into timestamps. And so you get an email after the fact with the video, and the video has the top 5 things you must see from this session. And so you can just click, 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 go through it at a high level. It's sort of like DVD chapters or, chapters in a book. You can just go bing, bing, bing. Which ones apply to me? Which ones do I care about? So it's very easy to consume it. We sort of finished the Art Business University off with a private, highly curated Facebook group. I think 3,600 of our 4,800 customers are in there. I think something about like that. Last check. It's highly curated. It's super positive. Everyone's sharing their wins. Everyone's asking questions. Have a new series you're working on. You want to get feedback. It's nice to be able to go somewhere, post something, and say, hey, can you give me some feedback on this? Or, does this sound like a good idea in terms of the sale? Or, what is your booth set up? Pre-COVID post there, right? Like, what does your booth setup look like? Share photos, all those sorts of things. So that's the Art Business University. And then our final newest, biggest initiative of 2020 was we started a complete in-house marketing agency. And it's an in-house marketing agency that only does one thing: helps artists and photographers sell more work online and off, for that matter. So I think it's about 5 months old now. We've already serviced over 275 customers. I believe it is the single solo-focused art and photography marketing agency that exists in the world already, just based on the fact that no one knows of any other ones. Like, yeah, you have like your individual like art business coach or art guru out there, but does anyone know of an agency that solely focuses on helping artists and photographers sell art and photography online and off? No, no one's been able to tell me one. And again, it goes back to because selling art and photography is really hard. It's not like marketing other products. Yes, there's some aspects of crossover, but there's a lot of trade craft, a lot of nuance, all of which we know as a result of being at this for years and then having the data on 4,800 customers. And so you can come in and say, I don't want to build my website. Will you build it for us? Yes, we'll build it for you. We'll manage your Facebook ads. We will tune up your Instagram profile, your Facebook profile. We will execute email campaigns for you. So there's a whole bunch of different services. We're adding more and more and more. And, you know, there's that thing called Pareto's law. Like, you know, you can take an 80-20 of everything, right? 80% of our customers have full-time jobs or part-time jobs, or they're photographers and they still have the service aspect of their business and they're trying to build the fine art part of their business. And so, you know, when you're in those cases, a lot of times you don't have the time to do all the marketing, or you'd like to be growing a little bit quicker than you are currently. And so why not offer those services? You know, you walk into a store and it's like grabbing something off the shelf. Hey, I need a little help with this month. So we've got that going on, which is really cool. And, you know, a nice little side benefit to the agency is, you know, I now have one guy that all he does all day long is spruce up people's Instagram profiles. So it turns out when you do that enough, and you're looking at the data after the fact, you learn a tremendous amount. And so what happens is he comes on, teaches on the Zoom session for everybody that wants to do it themselves, and then it goes right into the playbooks. And so it's just a flywheel that's rolling along and giving us a competitive advantage, excuse me, with each day that goes by. So really thrilled with it. That's sort of the whole package from soup to nuts, if you will. And I think at that point, love to open it up for your questions. I can see Megan's got her hand raised already. She knows the program. But at the bottom of the Zoom window, there's like a participants icon. If you click on that, there's somewhere down at the bottom that'll allow you to raise your hand. And that's how I know you want to ask a question, as opposed to, you know, the actual raising it. And wait just a second, Megan, and then we'll go. If you want to leave a comment in the chat, A-okay. If you don't want to be on video, also A-okay. I hate being on video. Personally, and I get that. And then also on the socials, I will respond to those comments too. But Megan, you're up first. Go ahead.
Hi.
Hey,
Okay,
Happy
thanks.
New Year.
Um,
Almost, anyway.
so I've been following you guys for a while, and
Okay.
I'm kind of looking at, because I know you have your price going up soon.
Yes.
So I was going to do a demo today, I think, with Matt
Okay.
at some point. But I had a couple
Yeah.
questions that you might be better at answering than the salespeople. But so I've been in commercial art for the last 20 years or so, and I'm just
Okay.
getting back into painting. Sorry, this keeps going off.
No, it's okay.
And I have validated my
Mm-hmm.
art with so I have sold
Yes.
probably $1,500 worth of paintings or so to strangers
Okay.
in the last month or so.
Good job.
So I did validate it, and but my question is like, what are some of the average margins that you're seeing? Like, I've also run a retail
Mm-hmm.
store, like a multi-million-dollar retail store for someone else for the last 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very focused on margins.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of wanted to see like if there's an average margins, because you have the fees for there's of course the cost of the prints and
Yep.
everything, and then your fees
Yep.
and the credit card fees. And I just kind of wanted to see, like, is there an average percentage? I'm sure that the artists are priced all over the place. Of course, it's going to be a little bit of a difficult question, but if there was a little bit of an average that you see that you might be
Yeah,
able to
no,
help me out.
it's a great question. It's a great question. I would answer it a couple of different ways. And one, you know, one of the beautiful things about art is you can't really comparison shop it, right? Like the pricing on it is completely arbitrary. You said it. That's number one. It's important. It's an important point though. Two, you know, we always, as a business ourselves and, you know, our customers too, we always encourage this mental model, this framework of thinking and saying, okay, we have a decision. What are we going to set our markups as? Right. And you ask yourself, is it a reversible decision or not? It's a reversible decision, right? You could set them high and you could bring them right back down the next day. Very important. It's a reversible decision. So it's not something you worry about. Number three, there's only two brands that I'm aware of that don't discount: Louis Vuitton and Tiffany's. That's it. Everyone else runs sales, right? And why do you do that? Because, you know, you ran a multi-million-dollar store. So I'm sort of answering you and giving it to everyone else. You do that because humans need incentive to take action, right? And a discount in scarcity, i.e., expires Friday, is huge. So we recommend a 250% markup across the board. That's what we recommend. But at the same time, like, it's a reversible decision. You can go up, you can go down. No one will ever know. And I really, really like, you got to be on sale, and you got to be on sale often, and that's going to chew into your margins even further. And you know what? Everyone likes getting a deal. And again, Tiffany's and Louis Vuitton, there's no one else. And so we encourage higher markups such that you have the ability to execute on the sales when we say so, right? But you have the ability to set them globally, like I said, or on a per piece basis. But you definitely, you can't be comparison shopped. If it's not moving, you can lower the prices. So it's easy. We'll hold your hands and say, Megan, set them. Let's get going on our marketing. See how we do. If they got to go up, they go up. If they got to go down, they go down, right? Like, we can move them around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's helpful. I have trouble with that mindset of
For
charging
sure.
people
For
for my
sure.
own art. I can do it for, other people's stuff, but
Yeah.
of course
Sometimes
I have
sometimes
that.
I'm not kidding when I say this. Multiple times on the Zoom calls with the customers, multiple times I've said, it would be just like we're having this conversation, and they are deathly afraid of charging what they're worth. This is like a known, like, trope, or like a known, like, condition, right? I have gone into their back end and raised the prices. I'm like, go away. You're not allowed to even see it. I'm going to do it. Okay. Don't even look. Don't even look. Just let me go do it. Right. And it totally
Yeah.
works out. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's very helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you. I had one other little
Hmm.
quick one. If we okay, so do you see people that are selling? So I know your playbook is designed specifically for, selling the physical art.
Yes.
But a lot of artists sell classes and
Hmm.
courses and other
Hmm.
things like that as other streams of income.
Yes.
Are you seeing your artists able to successfully kind of market both at the same time? Because
Thousand
sometimes
percent.
I feel like the different, a collector might be a different audience than, say, an aspiring artist that wants to take your class.
Yes.
So are you seeing your members
Oh,
have
a
success
thousand, yeah,
doing
thousand
both?
percent, 1,000%.
Okay.
So, independent of what I'm going to tell you, April, get a link to Betty and put it in the chat for her. So we have this gal, Betty Krause, that's just destroying it with the painting classes, like teaching painting, right? And so you can see how she does it, and she's killing it. But I
Okay.
would say two things. At the top, I talk about how actually selling art is not like selling other things, right? There's like so much nuance and tradecraft to it. And the reason there's no marketing agencies that exist, because everyone fails at this because they don't understand how the game works. That's number one. But number two, underpinning that, the marketing, it's just attention. It's just getting attention, right? And all we care about is success. That's it. So I don't care if it's classes. I don't care if it's your service based business, right? Like, you're a photographer, you're taking people into the national parks and teaching nighttime photography, or in person anything, pre-COVID more than now, obviously, or the merch, right? Like, some people thumb their noses at the merch and some people don't. I get that, but it's like, my job, successful customers. And so the marketing is just about getting attention, fundamentally about the arbitrage of getting attention. And 100% the playbooks will work, right? 100%. So yeah, you can do it all day long. And boy, do I highly encourage it, because you know, everyone gets like wound up on all these little things, right? Like, I'm only doing originals. I'm only doing originals. Or I don't like what my work looks like on metal, so I'll never offer metal, right? Or I'll never offer merch or any of the rest of it. And I'm just saying, do you have any idea how difficult it is to be successful in this business? Like, the last thing I want you to do is tie an arm behind your back, right? And not even go into the fight with both of them. Like, look, you can turn all of these things on and off, see what works. If you get one working, all in, right? Like, all in, hammer it. Like, we need success, and we don't care where it comes from. Just finding it is such a big deal. I'll give you the perfect example, because you got me ranting on a Wednesday. So, um, her name's Allie Cantrell, okay, and she does these like charcoal sketches, okay, of people's dogs. Okay. And the pet niche is really weird. Like, I don't think people really buy, like, if you're really good at painting dogs and you're gonna like paint like a Doberman Pinscher or something, no one's gonna buy that, because what they want to do is they want their dog, right? And so she does this thing where she paints them, and she's like, God, I just hate doing this. It's like bogging me down. And she was gonna leave, and we're like, stop, because she releases these limited edition sets, and she sells like 30 or 40,000 of them in like, yeah, $1,000 worth in like 6 or 7 days. Like, incredible. You can check out her website; it's amazing. And we like pulled her back from the reins and said, like, you don't understand. Do you have any idea how difficult it was to get to this point, to get something revenue source like this working? You can't leave. You can't quit. And so we actually taught her how to outsource some of the work, right? To get some other artists that come in. And now she's got help doing it, and she's working on some other areas of her business, but she didn't leave. And I'm reminded, by the way, because one of my friends has a knockoff of it. But you know those Damien Hirst dots that are super famous? Do you know that he didn't paint any of those? He paints none of them. His assistants and understudies do all of them. He puts his name on them and sells them, although I heard he's stopped selling them. So anyway, I feel like you got me fired up on a rant there. Sorry. I'm a little long-winded.
But your point is, I guess, that you can cross over in different
Yes.
audiences with the marketing
100%.
playbook.
Yeah. And
Okay.
sadly, there's this thing where like artists follow artists like a lot,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
artists get like really upset about that. And I think that's just, I don't know if it's just massively endemic to this particular niche, but we have we have so many of our customers that just like, my whole following is artists. So it's like, okay, if that's a skeleton you have in the closet, make it dance, right? Teach them how to paint, right? Teach them how to market their art. Teach them how to do whatever. Like if you have the ability to get a revenue model out of that, you want to take advantage for sure.
Okay. So we get support in
Oh yeah.
wherever we're
Oh
trying to
yeah.
get the attention from,
Yes.
no matter.
Yeah.
Okay. That's very helpful. Um, okay. I think that's I mean, anything else I have I can ask Matt about um on the demo call or whatever.
Yep.
And
Our resident Kiwi.
yes,
Yes.
yes. I
Yeah.
lived there for 6 months, so I know
You know the accent. Yeah. Yeah.
yes. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah. Awesome. Happy New Year. Hope to see you on the inside.
Okay.
Okay. So it's gonna go Tammy, then Peter, and then I'll get into these questions in the chat. So Tammy, you're up next. Yep. Gotcha.
Hi there,
Hey.
Patrick. Thank you so much for this.
Oh, my pleasure.
And awesome questions. Those were a couple of questions that I had as well. So thanks for that. First of all, I am horrible at marketing, just absolutely horrible.
Trust me, you are not the only one, and that is not the first time I've heard that.
I'm a photographer,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
One of the things that I really struggle with
Mhm.
is email marketing.
Yep.
Now, looking at all of this, I've got a call with Matt tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
myself for the demo, but one of the things that I was kind of considering was looking at interior designers,
Yes.
real estate stagers, that
Mhm.
kind of thing. Do I just look up all of these companies and whatnot and just email them out of the blue? Is that spamming?
No, not at all, not at all. It's a great question. It's a great question because I get so many different varieties of it, right? Like, and I don't necessarily think you're asking it this way, but here's how I'd answer it. Ask the 1,000 different ways. All I want to get in front of are interior designers or the art catalog folks, that buy all the art out of the catalogs for hotels and this, or in a word, the high net worth buyers, right? Well, talk to me about a business aside from the 99-cent stores that don't want to attract the high net worth buyers, right? Everyone wants to attract the high net worth buyers, right? And by virtue of the fact that absolutely everybody wants to, makes it insanely difficult. It means it's not easy, right? And look, I spent I don't even want to know how many years of my life looking for the shortcuts. And I'm old enough now, long enough in the tooth to realize they don't exist. I've tried every silly hack imaginable. Do you know what was actually really good early on? Terrible story. On Facebook, like right when the ads platform started coming online, you could target people only that liked Whole Foods. That was a really good hack. Why? Because only people with money go to Whole Foods. So that was a good hack. But the larger point is, unfortunately, there is no secret bullet to it. Everyone's followers, no matter what, mine, yours, anyone that does marketing, they all fall into a bell curve, right? Lower class, middle class, upper class, right? They just do. That's what everyone's followers do. Obviously, the most are in the middle class and then on the upper class. How you get those those proper buyers, those big buyers, is by just working on your marketing consistently, and up the bell curve goes, up the bell curve goes. You don't realize how they come in, but they come in. The example I always give, we were on a Zoom call with customers, this gal's on, and she's like, the way that it works is like we have people post wins in the Facebook group, and if they have a really good story, we bring them on to the Zoom session. So she's like, huge interior decorator sale, 18 pieces, $37,000. How did she do it? Was she targeting interior designers? No. She was marketing consistently all year long. The designer in question's daughter liked the art, followed her on Instagram, told her mom. So how the hell do you duplicate that, right? You don't. You work consistently on your marketing. That being said, I have early on, the hack was like, okay, you want interior designers? Okay, fantastic. Go on to Houzz, because that's where they all are, Houzz, right, which is a website, and send each and every one of them a message every single solitary day. Hundreds, you're going to need to send hundreds because the good ones are all bombarded with this type of stuff in their inbox. Then follow on Instagram, send them DMs, all of them. But do you know how many you're going to have to send to actually get some good bites? Thousands, thousands. And so when I have worked with customers on that strategy, one of two things happens. One, they quit before they get to the numbers because it is absolutely a numbers game. Or two, if they do stay at it long enough, it ends up being so much work that the regular marketing is the higher ROI activity, right? So you can work in this narrow little pillar and say, I'm just going to attack all of these guys. And don't get me wrong, if you worked it hard, I mean, when I say hard, contacting thousands a week for 52 weeks in a row. You do that, it's going to pay off. Do you know how many do that? No one. No one ever does it because they all quit. And that's just how that goes. And I see that time and time again. So what we advocate at a macro is what to do in that situation. Just work on your marketing. We know the marketing that works. You're just taking the bell curve up, 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 more attention, more attention, more attention. And that's the more the smart, not the smarter, but the at a macro, the better way to grow the business. That's what I'd say.
Okay. So basically what you're saying is the more narrow the field, the more work you're going to have to do. So just keep it spread out and
and just ride the bell curve up is the more sensible way to do it, I would say. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's all I have.
Wonderful. Thanks very much. Great question. Happy New Year. Okay, it's going to go Peter Morgan Samina. Or Samina. I don't know if I said that right or not. Okay, Peter, you're up.
It's good. I should probably unmute, shouldn't I?
Yeah. That's a cool looking cabiny background you're rocking over there.
Well, and that's why I'm doing this. I good, bad, or indifferent and retired.
Got it.
And I've been doing photography starting in high school 50 years ago. And I've done it. I've been especially concrete for the last 20 years, teaching people how to polish and dye and everything. And part of my job was both the application, but my job was doing photography.
Mm-hmm.
And I've traveled to every single state, and I pared down my file to about 30,000 photos, and I think I'm back up to about 25,000.
Yeah.
But what I heard about you guys from one of your current customers,
okay,
up in Duluth, Ryan Tischer,
okay,
who has both a gallery and uses you folks.
Yes.
And what I'm looking at is twofold. I'm really looking to do this to finally do more selling. I've sold just bits and pieces, $3,000-4,000 worth in the last couple of years,
okay,
to people who've seen my work
okay,
through my old work. And so the fulfillment aspect of it, where I'm not doing that. I had my own business for 20 years, and I'm looking at this to, one, pay for what you just are seeing here, the cabin.
Yes.
I'm sitting 60 feet above Lake Superior right now.
Yeah, love it.
And the whole area around Lake Superior is also one of the areas I like to photograph.
Yeah.
So one, the fulfillment is a large thing for me. One question I have about the program, which I played with a little bit, I know that it tells you what size you can sell a print.
Yes.
Does it tell you based on the file size?
Yes.
And based on the clarity and everything?
Yes. It doesn't take into account the clarity, but it takes account of the resolution. Yeah.
I tend to focus on landscape and architectural.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a rare opportunity that a very good friend of mine who also bought 40 of my pieces and gave them to his employees a couple of years ago.
Awesome.
he sends out emails to architects every single week, and he's the largest provider of education to architects
Mhm.
and designers in the country.
There's a
And he is
there's a good
offering
friend to have.
to
Little sneaky
put
back
a
door.
little
Yeah.
blurb on every email for me for nothing.
Awesome.
So you're talking about going out to thousands of people 52 days a week.
1000% yes. 1000%
I
yes.
get to do it without me having any effort.
Yes.
I mean, I'm looking to where I'm really only putting a couple, 3 hours a day, maybe, into doing this.
Mhm.
I'm looking to cover the cost of my cabin
Yep.
and cover the cost of going out and doing more photography.
Yep. Understood.
So one of the questions I have is, if you start at the low end,
Yes.
at the lowest level, what down the road, what's the cost to upgrade? Is it just the difference between what you went in at?
Yeah, and you can upgrade at any point in time. I mean, I think the larger what concerns me about your situation is, it's always risky to early on get in your head like, I'm going to do this to pay off the cabin, right? Or I'm going to do this so I can quit my job right away, right? Like the smarter thing is like, okay, operationally in your head, think that and be stoked about that, but don't quit the job, right? Like you're going to have to
See, the
build.
thing, I'm retired.
Yeah, so you got it covered already then.
I have Social Security coming in.
Got it. Yeah, so you got the revenue coming in.
So
Okay.
everything I'm doing is not I don't need income. I want the opportunity to finally sell.
Yeah. We can help you with that question then. Like you can start on the baseline plan, okay? And it could be 2 years until you need to upgrade, right? Because you need to work on the marketing. You need to build up your own email list. You need to market consistently year in and year out. It takes 3 to 5 years if you've never done anything, right? And you don't have an email list, you have no Facebook friends, no Instagram followers, you've never marketed. It takes 3 to 5 years to build anything of value in today's day and age. Steve Jobs
Yeah,
quote.
and,
Totally
and
quote.
I'm looking literally as this is an opportunity to sell what I do, and I do well.
Yeah.
And it's always been part of what I've done, but it hasn't been my.
Yeah, well,
My,
it sounds like you've already sold, so I'm sure you've passed the smell test in terms of having a product that people want. So I think you get in, you start working on your marketing. It sounds like everyone has a different ace up their sleeve. It sounds like your architectural buddy could be a potential ace up the sleeve. So you start riding that right away. That'll help you out, and you get going and you start selling, right?
Okay. I was trying to think if there's anything else. No, I think that did it. I started talking to you guys back in, I think March or April.
Yeah.
Originally.
Yeah. And I remember
And
I remember Ryan too. I've had some conversations with Ryan actually.
Yeah.
I know he's got the gallery.
It's just something that with COVID and just everything else, this is a good way to go about it. I had some local restaurants who were going to put my photos
local
up,
everything.
and I just wasn't comfortable going in and dealing with that part of it right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Crazy times. Thank you. Okay, Morgan, Stamina, and again, you're gonna have to tell me if I'm hacking that. I'll figure it out by the time I actually talk to you probably. And then Barbara. Okay, Morgan, you're up. And you'll need to, yeah, gotcha.
There we go. Yeah. All right. Awesome, Patrick. Thanks so much for meeting today with all of us.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I'm actually Morgan's husband. I'm actually her marketing director.
Nice.
So everything you're speaking here is just ringing true to me. I do own my own business, and so I'm bootstrapping, her marketing on the side. So you guys actually provide a lot of the solutions to some of our needs. We're doing actually really good.
Amazing.
With zero paid marketing, and I just have a question for you. So the COVID really helped her blow up on TikTok, and she's got about 800,000 followers right now. And and just kind of a tip to the artists, TikTok is a place for artists. It's one of the easiest ways to get your art out there. If you have a great personality, I shouldn't say if you have one, if you just have a talent, just showcase it, put some music behind it, and you'll be amazed at how many people just love you and follow you. so she's blown up on that, and from that we've done really well.
What is the, just out of curiosity, what is the nature of the content pieces you're doing on there? Is she just live painting, or, you know, just
So
being,
she started off just doing kind of just dances with the kids and
got it.
kind of voiceovers, and then it turned into the painting,
Hmm.
and then it turned into watching the painting, and then she started drawing like a random follower with her
Yeah.
specific medium.
Yeah. I love seeing
And
those.
that's when, I mean, she has one video that went viral. It has something like close to 20 million views, and it just took off. And so yeah, so TikTok, just so you guys, it's very very good for artists. So I had a question about the merchandise. We
Yes.
partnered with a merchandise company that does the fulfillment, and
Mhm.
they're really good at what they do. Is there a way to integrate them into the API on the website, or do we have to go through Guten?
Yeah,
You
you'd have
guys
to
are
go through Guten. Like the 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 API stitched together, and how gnarly that was for our team on Guten. I mean, it was supposed to be like a 6-month project. It turned into like a 1.5-year project. And if you look at
Wow.
our integration with Guten and compare it to the one that you have with that Shopify has, ours is 10 times better than theirs. Way more
Yeah,
seamless and everything
this
else.
this isn't Shopify. This is a guy who actually is the number one podcaster in fulfillment and merchandise, and so
Got it. Got it.
he's got a very good name for himself.
Yeah. What
That might be a little.
what type of volume of it are you selling? I mean, are we just, is it, because usually it's
Today we
lower
we
margin.
we we put out 200 units.
Hmm.
We
Right.
opened it up a month and a half ago,
Hmm.
so we've sold 200 units, and these guys are they're phenomenal. I mean, they order comes in that same day ship, and they provided all the artwork on the mugs, the shirts, we got magnets. I mean, we just gave them the prints, and they just threw it on stuff
Yeah.
and says, this is what you want. And then he actually said, these are the things our hot items are selling. And so we're getting some coaching and mentoring on that end.
Awesome.
Is there a way that we could integrate them with a API, maybe create a partnership
Yeah,
with
I
these
mean,
guys?
I'd look at it. I mean, so he's got, what's the name of the podcaster? What's the company called?
Company's called Mont Blanc. His name's Aaron Montgomery.
Okay.
I'll send you an email.
Yeah, so
Actually,
send me an email. We'll take a look at it. I'd actually be curious to just listen to that podcast period, because we sort of just, like I said, we just sort of made the jump into merch. And it's funny because, again, just to go on a little bit of a tangent, but we were talking about it on the call today. Like, where do you stop with all of it, right? Like, is a mug okay, but a shower curtain is super cheesy? And if a shower, I mean, are we doing masks? Are we doing bath towels? Like, where does it end? And as I look at like the what's transpired this year, and especially to artists and photographers, and then like what's possible, what the potential is, it's really our job to add every single solitary product imaginable. Like everything. Like, why wouldn't you let the artist decide and have all the options? Like,
Sure.
you're monetizing creativity. That's it. Why wouldn't you want to monetize it every way you could?
You and I are dancing the same beat. Trust me, my wife and I butted heads with this for months, and I was like, "We
Yeah.
got to get merch going. We got to get merch going." She's like, "Nope, nope, nope, nope." And then we opened it up, and it opened up a brand new demographic of clients that she didn't even know was even possible. So I think that the value out of these guys is that they do a great market analysis of what's trending,
Hmm.
and then what's also going to be trending based upon their relationships with the manufacturers.
No,
What
amazing. I love the fact that he's got a podcast too. Like, I want to watch that immediately. Let me ask you this though, okay? Because this is one of the things that I bang the drum on so hard that most artists and photographers fail at. I believe, and I don't think I'm wrong on this, that 2020, and really it's the year of video, right? And video has a number of different children to it. Yes, it's video, it's the Zoom calls that we're on. Yes, it's the live art shows, which I believe is the single solitary biggest disruption to how art and photography is sold, that's taken place in the last 50 years, full stop, not even close. But I believe right now, 2020, 2021, we are entering the age of merchandising. If you're not in a position where you have your work on all the various different media types in your hand, and you have the ability to articulate what they are, how it looks like on video, this is a metal print, it's ready to hang, right? Like, greeting cards, yeah, we've got those too. And it's just as important for the merch, and Morgan, it's just as important for your wife. You have to get every single solitary product you sell. You got to be able to pull it out, talk about it, talk about what makes wood interesting, the fact that it's ready to hang, the fact that it has a nice texture to it. Or acrylic, right? Acrylic is the next best thing. And you notice how all of these are really small by design, right? By design. So you can talk about it, you can articulate it. But to your point, Morgan, you need to have boxes of this stuff on the side of you. And even if you don't sell it, okay, because let's be honest, low margin products, the majority of them, right? Not all of them, but the majority of them are low margin products. And with low margin products, unless you're selling thousands of them, okay, you are not making a tremendous amount of money. But guess what, guys? I'm having a sale today, flash sale on acrylic prints, okay? And what these normally cost are $575. And because it's a one-time flash sale, happy new year, let's get rid of the dumpster fire that was 2020 and get into 2021. I'm going to knock 20% off of them. But not only that, if you buy today, my green screen's making it look a little wonky. If you buy today, I'm throwing in a pack of the gift cards. I'm just going to throw that in for free, right? And so if the future of selling art and photography is video and it's direct, like I'm doing here, one to many, one to one, when you have the merch on your side to throw in as little, like, spiffs, it's a big deal, right? It's a big deal. And as much as we all laugh about the guy selling the sham wows, right? Or, the blue blocker glasses or any of the rest of those ones on QVC, there's a reason those businesses are massive, right? There's a reason. Not only do you get that, but you'll get this. Not only do you get this, if you order today, we'll throw in free shipping, right? And like when you have that ability, take away the cheesy telemarketing QVC aspect of it, all it is just incentive. It's all just a mathematical equation, right? Like human beings, we need encouragement to take action. A discount and then scarcity, the fact that it's going to end today, i.e. the flash sale on acrylic that I just had in 2 seconds, right? And the fact that you can have the merch and throw it in is a little spiff and it costs you like $2 or $3. Like you need to order every single solitary thing. And going back to what I said earlier, like the marketing, like being able to reward people on the lower end of things is insane. And then not only that, there's only 3 ways to grow a business, okay? This is universal. You can get new customers in the door, number 1, okay? You can get more dollar amounts, called AOV, average order value, out of your existing customer, okay? The easiest way to remember this, do you want fries with that? You came in for a burger, McDonald's said, do you want fries with that? That was their way to increase AOV. The third way is to get repeat customers coming back, right? Okay, let's build on, and still on the merch, this is the bell curve. And you've got people down here that don't have a lot of money. And then you've got people here that don't have a lot of money. Well, guess what? They would like to buy something from you. Oh, and you tell me the prices in your store start at $375 or $875, or if it's originals, $2,500. You don't have any price point variability. Sometimes it makes sense to have the merch, to have these 10, 15, 20, $50 price points just to get a customer in the door, right? Number one, it allows them to reward the fact that they like you, okay, and they want to follow you, but they can't afford something big. And then number two, you now have a customer, right? You now have a customer that you can market to in perpetuity. And guess what? That person might not be able to afford an original today, but 10 years from now, he's going to be able to, right? And so I just think it's really smart. I think it's really smart for a number of different reasons. And I get the turning your nose up at it that a lot of people do, but I think if you reframe how you actually use it, I mean, dude, your wife could be running a TikTok and giving away a set of gift cards on every single solitary one. Do you know what it's going to do to the engagement on those? And oh, by the way, these are available in my store, guys, too. Right? Like,
You don't have to tell me that,
yeah.
because I mean that's what we're doing. And just to reprogram that way of thinking, one of the ways that we're approaching this is to make $100,000 a year. You just got to find 1,000 super fans that will pay.
You better believe it. Yeah. Kevin Kelly, 1,000 true fans.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Remy City, Gary V.
Yeah.
Just find 1,000 super fans, 1,000 people who will follow you that will pay $100 as a service, whether it's a merchandise, whether it's reoccurring, monthly subscription. That takes care of 100. So think of it like you're going fishing. You got a boat. Would you rather throw one big line that's trying to capture the big fish?
You
or
know,
would rather have
I use
5,
this
10,
analogy
15,
all the
20
time.
lines out there, yeah, simultaneously, just ready to hook something. And that's the approach. I mean, it's a new way of programming the mindset. I get it. And so you and I are
Oh, you and I are going for beers. I mean, I use the fishing analogy all the time. All the time. I mean, I've used it so many times I want to get an animation made on it, right? I want to get an animation made on it. So that I can say, like, my boat and your boat. Your boat steams out to the ocean. The ocean's a big place. You only have one line. My boat, on the other hand, I've got lobster pots, harpoons, nets, kites, 16 different kinds of bait, and I'm going to steam out there and have all of that in the water. And guess what? I'm going to make it where you're not, right? I love that analogy. Powerful stuff.
I got 2 more questions for you.
Shoot.
Marketing team that you have.
Yes.
you guys get into teaching, mentoring us and how to go after affiliate marketing, sponsorship marketing, or even endorsements?
Endorsements ish. I haven't really seen, we don't have anyone that's like gotten into the affiliate space. I mean, I think a lot of the stuff that and the techniques based on how I've gotten to know you so far, are way, way out of the range of most artists and photographers because they're just really, really entry level in terms of their marketing, right? Blanket statement, but 100% true.
Right.
And I qualify that like I've got a customer. Okay. He is a known name. He is a big deal. He is a photographer, 1 million Instagram followers. Okay. When he signed up, 1 million Instagram followers. I had a call with him a couple weeks in. I was like, what size is your email list? He goes, I haven't really worked on my email list. I go, what do you mean? What size email list? He goes, 250 people. 1 million followers on Instagram, 250 people. So I say that, Morgan, to say, I'm teaching a class, right? And when we started the Zoom sessions, I basically put all the kindergartners up to the graduate students in one room. I've since
Yeah.
split that out into the beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And so that's awesome. So, the advanced is where we talk about a lot of that stuff, but we don't have anyone that I'm aware of that's really doing well with affiliates, just not so far. Sponsored products, yes. Instagram influencers, yes, to a certain extent, but most people are not doing the tried and true right out of the gates. And if you're not doing the tried and true, that's where my fishing analogy comes in, right? Like everyone, the perfect example, I'll give you the example. Everyone thinks right out of the gates, like, hey, I'm going to go jump into Facebook and Instagram ads. And I say, don't do that. Give me the money and I will light it on fire for you. You cannot make money, okay, off of paid traffic, right? Until you are marketing consistently, you're sending emails on a regular basis, you're posting on the socials on a regular basis, you're having sales when the time is right, you understand the mechanics of sales, and then you move into Facebook warm ads. And I can tell already, Morgan, you're sitting here and you're going affiliate relationships, sponsorships. I would look at your marketing stack day one and I would say the fact that you're not running warm ads consistently 365 days a year, you are leaving a massive amount of money on the table. And I have not seen a situation where somebody comes in and says, what about this? What about this? What about this? And then I look under the curtain and I'm like, what is going on here? We're not blocking and tackling, right? You're missing the basics. So you need to be running warm ads, by the way.
Patrick, I have no ego.
Yeah.
My sales and marketing comes in stock market and real estate, and so art is just a brand new world. So it's
For
been
sure.
kind of a trial by error and fire. But I'll tell you, the affiliate is really big for us. She gets hit by a lot of companies wanting her to promote their stuff on TikTok and Instagram. And obviously, there's a branding issue. You don't want to be the guy who walks into the barbershop with a trench coat that has CDs on one side and shoes on the other side. You want to be able to protect your brand. And so we haven't really partnered with a lot of affiliates, but and I would like to kind of get a better idea as far as like what the ask is behind that. That's something I'm just not really.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's not even really affiliate. Like that's out of the realm of her selling
endorsements and sponsorships.
Yeah, endorsements. Yeah.
But the affiliate side is the other thing. Is do you guys have a partnership or affiliate program for referrals?
We do. Yeah, we do.
Because we have. I have right now under the tutelage of Morgan. There's about 20 artists that she works with, and could definitely benefit from your services. So is there an affiliate program?
Yeah, 100%. We totally have one.
Let's talk after. I'll send you an email and then maybe we can chat about these things. The biggest blow to this is if I can't bring my merchandise guy along. But that's more of a I don't want to bore everybody else because I want to take their time. I respect people's time, but those are the three things I had. So I'll just get off and we can talk.
Yep, wonderful. Send me an email and send me the TikTok and the email. I'd love to see what she does. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Thanks, Morgan. Happy New Year. Okay, I got to get this name right. I think it's Samina. That's what I'm going with in my final. You'll have to unmute. I'll let you know when you get it.
You got that right.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it if I worked at it. Okay.
Good job. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. How you doing?
I appreciate all the information. I dropped off for a few minutes. My internet went down. I don't know. So may have missed some of the answers you have given, but I'm pretty new in this business. I'm 6 months old.
Okay.
I mean, I have a history in architecture and art, but seriously looking into art and as me an artist professionally is only a 6 months journey for me.
Okay.
I right now spent a lot of money putting a website together. And as I was putting it together, I realized, wow, what a passive website. Like I kept talking to my developers about let's do it this way, that way. And the struggles I had,
I know.
you know it
Trust
all.
me, I know that.
And I was just like, my God, I spend this money and this, and I have people asking me to buy my art. There is a resonance, which made me even more feel encouraged that there is interest. And I have my own community that's really, really feeling me right now. How am I positioning my art? So that emotional connection, although I don't have 800,000 followers, but I do
Yeah.
have some.
Yeah.
So when they ask me for sales, I do ask them to visit my website. I do have a Facebook page and all that. It's just they go and get lost in a black hole, and
Yes.
then it's very hard, you know.
Yes.
So I went through, I don't know, a million YouTube videos and a massive amount of Google search to understand what is the art business all about.
Mhm.
I am so grateful that I landed on yours, and I'm like, hallelujah, this is the answer to all my questions because it's all in one solution here.
Yeah.
I have reached out to Matt and you all. I don't know, it's very hard to get in touch because I've not gotten any responses. Matt called me one time, but I've responded to him. I've not heard from him. So please do send a word out to him or yourself. I would really like to have a one-on-one call
Yep.
with you all.
Matt is getting all the love today, by the way. I don't know how, but April, will you ping? You say he did call you, so then we definitely have your.
He did call me right
Yeah.
away. I was on another call and I called him back a few times, but
Mhm.
not in getting in touch. I left voicemails and stuff.
Okay, April, tell Matt to call Megan and Samina. Done.
So I do have the website.
Yes.
And it is a portfolio website, as you
Yep.
have mentioned in your,
Yep.
and I've been through all your articles and blogs. So I've read every one of them as much as I could.
Mhm.
So here I am. I still have to pay the developers. That money will go. I have no choice. But
I know.
my
I
question
know.
to you
It's
is,
frustrating.
is there any opportunity to use the existing website and interface with Art Storefronts, or it has to be a standalone?
You could. You certainly could. You know, again, like the artist ultimately makes the call, right? Like you can do what's called a bolt on, meaning like if you had saminahuda.com and you had your portfolio site and you're like, I love my portfolio site, I want to keep my portfolio site, then you can just do use a subdomain, which would be store.saminahuda.com, and then you put the store icon in your menu on the portfolio site. But you know, what you have to ask yourself is the portfolio site generating sales? Most of the time, no,
Not right now,
no, it's not. So if you're going to switch, it makes sense to switch. Now, again, you can do whatever you want, but you know, my advice would be to switch. And then, you know, we have a number of features that we don't talk about. I'll give you a case in point. We have a feature called Art Buyer AI because we like giving things snazzy titles. It's just a cookie. A cookie is a script that tracks people's behavior. And the easiest way to think of it is if you, Samina, walked into the Apple store, this Art Buyer AI is like a video camera in the corner of the store, right? And it's following you, okay? And it's watching what you're doing. It sounds a little creepy, but it's not. Just hear me out. So Samina comes in, she looks at the iPhone 12, then she looks at a MacBook, and then she looks at an iPad, and she goes back and she buys the iPhone and she leaves. So instantaneously, my store pops up a little, your store would pop up a little prompt and says, Samina just came in. She looked at this, and bought this. She didn't get a case. Here's the email text that we think you should send to Samina. And the email text says, hey, Samina, thank you so much for your purchase of the iPhone 12 and doing business with me. I really appreciate that. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer. One thing that might not have been clear is I know you were looking at the MacBook and the iPad. We do offer a first-time bundling discount that you could potentially take advantage of, or I could love to show you some cases. And you can change the text or you can hit send, right? And so that's one of a whole bunch of different features. And if they're bopping around on your portfolio site and not on your store site, you're not going to know, right? So there's a lot of things, but you know, it's not a zero-sum game. You don't have to decide tomorrow, right? Like you can come on with your portfolio site and have the store site. And if you want to decide down the line, I just want to have one or the other, like you can do it at any point in time. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I would love to get on that one-on-one and a demo call because I'm very serious about not wasting time because I don't have time to waste.
We don't, none of us have the time to waste, that's for sure.
Another question I had is about the pricing. I don't know if you already addressed that, but if it's something you want to explain now or it would be on a one-on-one call, but I want to understand your program.
Yeah, so that's why we do the I don't even know what it is. When I know our prices, what they start at, but I don't know all the nuances and the intricacies of the price. I got enough problems in my own department to worry about without that nonsense. So when you request a demo and Matt calls you back, which I'm going to have him do, I'll make him do, despite the fact he's busy today. And yes, you too, Megan. You know, they do it like a 5 to 15-minute discovery call. You can answer get every question, upgrade, downgrade, this feature, that feature, transaction fee, all of it. And then if you want to schedule the full demo from there, you can do it. But it's just an introductory call. So I'll make sure that those go through.
Okay, so we go from there then.
Yes. And if for
depending on
some
what I need,
reason, because it's the end of the month, things are like
I
bananas
can
crazy.
imagine.
No,
Okay,
I'll make sure both you, Megan, and you, Samina, are locked in on the 2020
perfect.
pricing. Yeah.
Thank you, Patrick. I
And you
appreciate
can,
that.
if for some reason,
I have tons of other questions, but I'll wait for my calls.
yeah, if for any reason they try to pull any shenanigans on you, just say Patrick said I'm locked in, and I'll go to bat for you guys. Don't worry.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, Barbara, you're up next, and then I'll get into the chat. I promise. Barbara, go ahead. Barbara Andrews. Yep, gotcha.
Hello.
Hey.
I got a couple of questions. First one is I've been in the art business for quite a while. I don't know. I was on last week for the first time, and I started off doing murals. I'm a graphic artist, and I've kind of gone down when it comes to size to canvas painting and portraits. And my slogan is I am the artist because I do multiple different types of mediums. And right now I'm doing a lot of colored pencil sketch portraits, pet portraits, and I have customers that sending me photos they want me to do, and they don't follow through, and they stay friends and they communicate, and I don't know how to grab them with a sweet, and say, okay, well, let's start with this one, because a lot of the photos they send me are pictures of a picture of a picture, and they're pixelated, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
What do I do to, what do I do? I have painted for them. Yes, they've got, in fact, I've a number of them. I've done probably 3 or 4 paintings, a couple a year for them. And then I've done sketches for them. One of them I've done family sketches, one right after the other. And right now I have one that a customer that is just consistently, like every week I get another text from him. I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you. And it's like,
Yeah.
what do I do?
Yeah, just the follow up. You just need some better systems. Maybe build in some automation too, some better language, and I think you'll be able to fix that. That's a pretty easy fix. But if it's happening all the time, it's not like occasional, then there's something else weird going on. I'd have to like audit the whole stack.
He just is a retired veteran, bored out of his mind, and doesn't he'll come with all these different ideas that he wants to do, and he picks one. He says, "Okay, let's work on this one. I'll get back to you."
Yeah. So, sometimes it helps to have some incentive there to like encourage them to do it. Well, okay, John, that's awesome. I love that. But just to let you know, I'm having a sale right now. Oh, you are? Yeah. What's in the sale, right? But it ends Friday. I just wanted to let you know. But no worries. You get back to me when you need to get back to me, right? Sometimes it can help to throw some incentive in.
Okay, kind of like a secret code kind of communication kind of thing to use on them.
Yeah, I mean it's just incentive. It's just the nature of how we get humans to take action.
Okay. And then my next question is, I have been using Facebook as I do my pet portraits.
Yep.
I take photos of them. I don't do videos. I haven't mastered that one yet. I got all the stuff to do it. I just haven't actually done it.
Yep.
But I will take photos as I'm drawing, and people love them and they order from me. But I put in ads on Facebook, especially for like the horse people. I get a lot of memorial sketches for horses, and Facebook will freeze my account and just say, "Sorry, you cannot sell on this blah 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 blah."
Yeah, they're terrible. They are terrible.
What do I do to stop that? I mean, I'm selling dead horses. I don't know.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of different processes. It happens to everybody. It honestly happens to everybody all the time. I tell this story because it's so ridiculous, but a buddy of mine just recently wrote a novel, and I've been advising him on what to do to market it. And the novel is literally set like in the Middle East and like an Arab culture, and the cover image is a lady in a burqa. Okay, the only thing you can see are the slits of the eyes, and it got flagged by Facebook for pornography. A woman in burqa. Right? Like you can't get any further, more modest dress than that. And so you just have to laugh. We have some process documentation that walks you through what to do.
And so there is a trick to it. I take it
No,
they
there's
use
not a trick.
specific
It's
words or
it's all algorithmic banning, and so sometimes the system just gets wonky, and you just have to do an approval process, and it's a little bit of a pain in the butt sometimes, but
I've
it happens
argued
across the
with
board.
them. I mean, I have sent them back texts and messages saying, "Listen, I'm an artist. This is not a horse. This is a piece of artwork."
Yes, yes,
So it's like, and they still don't. So I just do another ad. Put
yes.
another ad, and it lasts about 48 hours, sometimes a week.
Yep, yep,
So
yep. It's all a game. It's all a game. We can help you with that stuff, no question.
okay. All right, great. Well, I guess for now I think that's it. I mean, I'm going to be signing up. I got to put some money together, and you did mention last week that you guys had some kind of payment system, but we'll see what I can come up with. And I appreciate this. This is really keeps me motivated and wanting to sell.
Oh,
So
thanks for saying that. Yeah, that's why we do them. But no worries, Barbara, and happy New Year. And don't let Facebook get you down. They can be tyrannical for sure. So I'm going to scroll through the chat questions because I know I missed some. All right, go givers, some more. I'm curious about the difference between using Shopify and POD integration versus your site. Yeah, we just have a ton more features than Shopify, and not a knock on Shopify. I love Shopify, but Shopify is for selling everything, right? Oh, there was a bunch of questions about taxes. Yeah, so a lot of the tax types of questions that people have are usually, in my experience, those are worries of people that have not sold anything yet, and for some reason they get hung up on the fact that like, well, what about this taxes and what about that taxes? Like, the only problem you have are getting sales. The taxes are very easy, but we actually have webinars with accountants that are customers that advise on it. We actually just started those in the last week, but it's not that hard. Navigating the international taxes, the domestic taxes is minor, is extremely easy. So do not stress about that one single solitary bit, not an iota. Very, very easy. Does your site, Tamara is asking if the site integrates with a Facebook or Instagram store. No, not currently. We don't want your potential buyers to be on Facebook and Instagram. If they're actually in a buying mode, we want them on your site, home court advantage, where you have higher conversion rates, and not on Facebook and Instagram. Now we're testing, we're seeing, but if I don't see high conversion rates and I don't see art being sold on the Facebook or the Instagram stores, then I'm not advocating for them, and I'm not seeing that yet. So it's in a testing mode, but I prefer to have my customers off of Facebook, off of Instagram, on my website, my home court where I control things, right? Okay, that was Barbara's question. I saw that. I think we dealt with that. Is there a way to use my current website address and weave the storefront into it? Yes, I addressed that. Yep, the sales tax component again. Okay, I think I got everybody. Awesome. Well, guys, thanks. Thanks for spending a holiday weekend Wednesday with me. It was a lot of fun. We'll make sure that people call you back. We'll have another one of these probably, I guess, starting in on Monday, the new year. Exciting, 2021. Amazing. And don't worry, if you do get a demo in between now and the end of the year, I'm pretty sure they'll honor the fact already the price is going up, but also too, the prices are only going up on the top plans. They're not going up on the entry level plan. So there's always a way to limp in. But yeah, okay. Guys, thanks. Happy New Year. Hope to see you on the other side. Hope everyone has a wonderful time. Stay safe, stay healthy, and yeah, have a great rest of your day.